Welcome back Twitch, welcome back YouTube. Let's get back to just another game, Danganronpa, Trigger Happy Havoc. Last session, session 3. Chihiro was murdered and she deserved better than that, I think we all agree. Chihiro is too pure for this world. So we're gonna start session 4 by finding out exactly what the hell happened. And we are kind of stuck with Byakuya. And if I remember right, Hina came down here last time looking for our help. What's up, Hina?
Please!
This is a serious emergency. Please, you gotta help me. Just calm down, okay, Hina? But it's an emergency. Did somebody else die in emergency? What happened?
Well...
Something's wrong with Toko. She's acting super strange. Well, I mean, she was acting pretty strange earlier, right? What should we do, Byakuya?
Very strange.
Since it's Toko, I must admit I'm intrigued. I suppose we can take a second to see what's going on with her. Are you sure?
Don't make me repeat myself.
I didn't expect that. I thought for sure he'd just say no and that'd be the end of it.
Yeah!
Okay, come on, hurry. Wait for us, Hina!
Let's go.
It looks like she headed to the dorms, to Toko's room most likely. You're right. Toko's room is... That's Chihiro's. This is Toko? This is Toko. Is Toko inside? Some kind of emergency? Oh, you want me to talk? Alright, fine. You guys are too slow. I think you're just too fast. So, what's this emergency?
So,
Well, after what happened in the girls' locker room, we left Toko in a room so she could lay down. After a while, we came back to check on her, you know, see how she was doing. But when we did, it was weird. She refused to come out and she kept saying all this weird stuff. Weird stuff?
That's fine.
We should try talking to her ourselves. Yeah, good idea. I may as well give it a shot. The door swung open slowly and silently. And then she shook back and forth, like, I don't even know. Holy crap! An aura of negativity flowed out from behind the door, forcing a gasp out of me.
what?
Oh, nothing. It's just that, Hina was really worried about you, holding yourself up in your room.
Leave me alone.
Yeah, sure thing. But, could you open up, just for a second?
That's what he said!
Won't allow it.
Huh?
Won't let Genocide Jack have control.
And just like that, she slammed the door in my face. What was that? She's been acting like that the whole time. When I rang a little while ago... I'll drive out the killer. Drive out the murderous fiend. It doesn't make any sense, right? I was afraid to leave her in there alone, so I tried to bust down her door. But it felt like something was holding it shut on the other side. I couldn't even budge it. Toko was scared enough to even bar her door? Does she think the same thing as Byakuya? Does she think the serial killer Genocide Jack really murdered Chihiro? Is that why Toko's so scared?
But...
Whatever it is, I'm really worried about her. Isn't there anyone who might be able to persuade her? I can think of one person she might listen to. Hey, Byakuya, you think you could ask her? To come out of her room, I mean.
That's fine.
Sure, whatever. You're gonna talk to her, Byakuya? Wow, I guess you can be nice when you want to. Byakuya stood in front of her door, not making a sound, and pressed the doorbell. After a few moments, and I can't move the camera, by the way.
What do you want?
Leave me alone, you're all so annoying. Byakuya!
It's Byakuya.
It's Banicula? I'm sorry, I couldn't keep our promise. Don't worry, never again. I won't let Genocide Jack have control ever again. And with that, the door slammed shut. Even Byakuya couldn't pull it off. There's nothing else we can do. Let's get back to the investigation. Hold on! Hey, Byakuya, what was Toko talking about just now? Something about a promise?
What?
Oh, I have no idea. One of her delusions, I'm sure. But
Stop talking.
if I say I don't know, that means I don't know. Just let Hina take care of her. Oh, yeah, okay. I'll stay here and keep an eye on her.
Let's go.
Well then, let's go. Without waiting for a reply, Byakuya sped away. Byakuya? And I hurried to catch up. I tried to talk to him several times as we walked, but he didn't even look back, let alone say anything. He just kept on walking towards his destination. Finally, his feet brought him to a stop in front of a certain room. The library? Come on, let's go in. He gonna kill me in here! Is the evidence that proves it was Genocide Jack really in the library?
Don't make me repeat myself.
Don't make me say it again. Well, we never were allowed to go in here. If I remember, on the other side of this door, it's the archive, right? Hurry up and go inside. Oh, here?
Let's go.
It'll all make sense once you're inside. Are we gonna fuck? Whoa, there's so many books and files. And so much dust, too.
So in other words,
I would say there's enough value in this place to endure the dust. Alright, well, let's look around. This shelf is stuffed tight with files. Without really thinking about it, I picked one at random. Ah, you have a sharp eye indeed to select that file. Huh?
that's right.
That's the report on a presidential assassination. The original is kept at the National Library. It won't be declassified for another 30 years. Are you sure you want to look at it now? There's no telling whose crosshairs you might wind up in for peeking at it. Without making a sound, I returned the file to the shelf. There's so many files stuffed onto the shelf. What's in all these things?
That's enough.
Those documents are dangerous. Dangerous? They detail all the people who control the world from behind the scenes. Dangerous truth for a commoner. You mean like Members of the Diet or something? What? No, I mean the ones with real power, the secret council controlling everything from the shadows. If you're ready to be disappeared for it, take a look. There are some very interesting people in there. You're just kidding, right? Am I? I'll just let it go for now. There's a ton of thick files, stuff them to the bookshelf. If you're thinking of looking through any of them, let me give you a little warning. Those things are filled with graphic, disturbing photos from all kinds of crime scenes. It's the kind of thing any normal person would never want to look at. Be careful. Huh? What do you mean? All those files there are investigation reports related to different cold cases. Those are internal documents for police eyes only. They're not the kind of thing you'd expect to leak. Oh? What's this? Oh no, that's targeting him? Actually, kind of, yeah. Huh? It's a desk lamp. Oh yeah, it's the same one I saw Byakuya using in the library before.
What?
Do you have a problem with that lamp? It was here before, then I moved it over there. It's too dark over there, so I thought I'd put it to good use. I don't have a problem with it, it gave me a coin! Alright, that might be everything. There's a wood box. It's empty. Although, judging by the smudges in the dust, it looks like there was something inside. I wonder what it was. There's an extension cord plugged in there. It proved very useful while I was in the library. An extension cord, huh? So, are you finally beginning to understand the true splendor of this library? The entire reason I was interested in the library is because of this room right here. It's home to classified government documents, police records, things no ordinary person would ever see. Isn't it magnificent? This can't be for real, right?
Such ignorance.
That's your guys' problem. Anything that doesn't fit into your preconceived reality, you label it a lie. Well, it's not that. It's not like I totally refuse to believe it, but I mean, there's just so much. How could anyone have put all this together? I suppose it goes to show how much Hope's Peak truly wields. Or perhaps the mastermind may have wanted to provide us with enough entertainment to keep us from getting bored. It's no use. I can't keep up with all this. It's just too unreal. What's wrong? You still can't believe it? What about you? How can you believe it so easily? Things like that are usually impossible.
What?
What do you mean usually? Usual, normal, ordinary, simple. Those things don't exist anywhere in the real world. If you don't understand what they actually represent, you don't understand the nature of anything. You don't pull your punches, do you? Besides, what you consider usual is based on your common sense, right? But what makes you think your own common sense applies to me at all? The documents gathered here are genuine. I have reviewed them multiple times, so there is no doubt. Hold on a second. You're saying you read all these documents and more than once? But all of this has to be like top secret confidential stuff, right? So why? My family has a reading room just like this at our home. Ours is bigger, of course, and not as dusty. Huh? Members of the Togami family have access to any variety of government-related documents. That includes foreign powers as well as domestic. How is that possible?
So in other words...
I already told you, there's a secret council that controls the world from the shadows. My family is a member of that council. And I have within me the bloodline that will allow me to one day bend the world to my will. But to become such a ruler, I must know all levels of this world backwards and forwards. So whenever I have time, I like to review whatever documents and materials that interest me. Which is why I can proclaim without a doubt that the materials gathered here are the real thing. This is beyond believing or not believing. Byakuya is actually starting to scare me more than the actual mastermind. And what always interested me the most were the cold case police investigation reports. Reading through those reports has always been a hobby of mine, ever since I was little. It's excellent mental exercise. I've solved more than a few of those cases just by reviewing the reports. And among all those reports, one of my recent favorites is the Genocide Jack case. As he talked, Byakuya grabbed a specific file from the shelf.
That's right.
This is the complete case file. Every single report surrounding the Genocide Jack cases has been compiled in here. Because there are so many, allow me to quickly summarize the main points. To begin, there are two notable characteristics in every Genocide Jack murder. The first characteristic is that at every crime scene the word bloodlust is written in the victim's own blood. And the second is that when the victims are murdered, their bodies are suspended in a particular way. Bloodlust is written in blood, and the victim's body is suspended. It's exactly the same as what happened to Chihiro. Save your surprise, the best part is yet to come. For the second characteristic, where the victims are suspended, the only ones who knew about that particular fact were members of the police and other higher-ups. By all accounts, nobody in the media ever found out. Huh? In other words, no one on the news, no one online, nobody knew about that aspect of each crime. Only key officials and the killer himself knew about this act of mounting the victim. Now, if you recall Chihiro's corpse, her body was most certainly mounted in this fashion. So how could the killer have known about suspending the victim?
That's right.
That's the key question. But in fact, the answer is quite simple.
So in other words,
the culprit isn't a copycat killer. It's the real Genocide Jack. Why you gotta use mounted? Bow chicka bow wow!
in other words,
That right there is the evidence that Genocide Jack has hidden himself among the rest of us. Then Genocide Jack really is... such a brutal, fiendish killer really is walking around among us?
interesting.
Things are really starting to get interesting, aren't they? I never imagined a killer with such a reputation would ever become part of our little game. Now, don't you think it would be good for you to take a look at what I've already seen? You might just manage to ferret out a clue or two.
Such ignorance.
If you get down on your knees and beg, I might even show you myself. Do I have to? Can't you just give me the file? Byakuya, about that Genocide Jack case file. Could you let me see it?
That's fine.
Well, you didn't beg, but I guess it's okay this time. Feel free to look at it in here, but you can't take it with you. Byakuya handed me the file, and I flipped through it with tense, nervous fingers. Suddenly, my hand stopped. I had reached the page where photos from the scene of each crime had all been collected. The names of Genocide Jack's victims ran on for several pages. Ken Harada, 32, Tetsuhiro Honda, 17, Shoji Gaku, 23. Keno Issei, 14. Takayashi Yoshida, 30. Kimatsuna Taro, Takafumi Gono, Uchihida Nahisa, Takeshi Masamune, Yuta Yumijima. There is no end to it. But one thing became perfectly clear as I read. All of the killer's countless victims were killed and suspended in exactly the same way. And at the scene of every murder, the word bloodlust was left in the victim's own blood. Now, take a look at the next page and you'll find another interesting tidbit. The next page? Profiling results? All of the crimes took place either on weekdays at night or during holidays, either day or night. The most common time for the killings to take place was on holidays in the afternoon. Based on these facts, it could be suggested that the suspect may be a student. Evidence suggests that the suspect lingered at the scene, but when they did leave, they were in a panic. Because an eyewitness has never come forward, it's unlikely there was ever any external reason for this. This confused behavior suggests that the suspect may potentially suffer from dissociative identity disorder.
So in other words,
the key point here is that the culprit may well have a split personality. A split personality? Like the kind of thing you see on TV? So I'm part of another totally unbelievable story. But this one is way more unbelievable than anything else up till now. Or maybe it isn't. I don't know. I feel like my mind has gone numb. Genocide Jack case file has been added to the Truth Bullets section of your handbook.
let's go.
Alright, we should get going soon. Huh? Where are we going? Anywhere but here. We finished our business here, haven't we? Oh wait, Byakuya! As usual, Byakuya turned and left without another word. I hurried out of the library to catch up. Well, this is where we part ways. I have some things I need to take care of before the class trial. Huh? Just all of a sudden like that?
I don't have time to play with you.
Come on, enough of your annoying misapprehensions. Did you really think we'd be together the whole time? Take responsibility for yourself and do something useful. Move the investigation forward on your own.
Goodbye.
Well, goodbye. And just like that, he was gone. Just as quickly as he'd asked me to join him, he cut me off. In the end, I felt like it was just some plaything getting tossed around. At the same time, I'd uncovered some really important clues thanks to him. Genocide Jack, he's the one that killed Chihiro. And that murderous fiend is one of us. But who is it? I have to find that out no matter what it takes. And to do that, there's someone I have to go investigate one more time. I have to go back to the crime scene, the girls' locker room. I should also check the boys' locker room too. And the others might have come up with some info I might find useful while I'm at it. I need to find out everything I can. Alright, so before we do that, I'm actually kind of curious if you guys might have noticed two things in that case file that Byakuya never brought up. Wonder if you're paying enough attention to see them. While I go to the locker room, which is through the pool, yes? Alright, what do you want, Hifumi? Might as well get you out of the way. Ding ding ding! Hifumi has discovered evidence revealing the identity of the culprit.
I feel as if...
Another stat increase for me! Evidence? What did you find? I cannot reveal that just yet.
That's it.
But I guarantee
sure
that
of
what I
it.
found will steal the killer's breath from his lungs. Are you sure about that? Oh yeah, Miss Lindenberg said she'd witnessed something worthwhile too. Really? What did she see?
Well, it would seem...
She refused to tell me. It's like when a girl bullies the boy she likes, right? Right? Okay, so where is Celeste now? All the same scissors and crushed? Crucified? The warehouse by the dorms. She was there, but at the same time, not there. What's it gonna be? There is also one more thing that's in common, but you're right. They were all hung up with scissors and they were all crucified. We're going to the boys' locker room for now. Well, this is different. Huh, this poster. Ah, very good. Yes. All her victims, at least in that case file, were male. It's a popular boy band called Tornado. Somehow it doesn't quite seem to fit in the boys' locker room. There's a strange stain on the carpet. What is it? Boys' locker room carpet has been added to the Truth Bullets section of your handbook. Let's see who's out in the pool, maybe. While we're here, see if there's anybody to talk to out. Hina? No, she's taking care of Toko. Doesn't seem to be anybody here. Alright. Leave the boys' locker room, yes. Alright, let's go in the girls' locker room. Alright. Look at this poster again. It's the bloodstained poster. The blood is the most noteworthy part, but the big-breasted swimsuit model is pretty noticeable too. A girls' locker room doesn't seem like the kind of place you'd find something like this. Oh, but wait, that reminds me. The poster in the other locker room is... That's right, there's definitely something strange about this. In the boys' locker room, there was a poster of a popular boy band. In the girls' locker room, there's a poster of a big-breasted swimsuit model. Could the posters have been switched? But if they were, why? What reason would anyone have? Maybe I should talk to someone who knows a little more about the locker rooms. Alright, 2 locker room posters has been added to the Truth Bullets section of your handbook. Alright, can I look at the corpse again? I can feel the life draining out of my own body. It's a dead body. Chihiro's dead body. Alright, nothing's changed. Well, Sakura probably knows the most about the locker rooms. You spend a lot of time exercising in the girls' locker room, right, Sakura?
Of course.
I've used it nearly every day since it opened up. Sometimes Hina and I use it together. Okay, then let me ask you something. Do you think the posters in the boy and girls' locker rooms could have been switched?
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I can't really say. I never really paid any attention to the posters. I see.
However,
But there is something that's been bothering me about the locker room. You see, I like to drink a little protein coffee every time I finish exercising. We have protein coffee? In the warehouse. It's not the highest quality, but I don't have a lot of other options. I mix protein powder with coffee and down a glass of it after exercising. Anyway, the other day I spilled some on the carpet in the girls' locker room and it left a stain. A stain? But I don't see any stain on the carpet now.
of course.
Exactly. I noticed it earlier. The stain has disappeared. I can only assume someone came along and cleaned it up. But still, isn't it unusually clean, as if there was never a stain here to begin with? Disappearing stain has been added to the Truth Bullets section of your handbook. What do you have to say, Mr. Cardboard Cutout Man? Dude had a real complex about being weak. You heard, I need to get stronger. Okay, we read this already. Hey Kyoko, have you made any progress on your investigation?
Indeed.
Generally speaking.
However,
But I have to get going. I have something unrelated to take care of. Something besides the investigation? What is it?
well,
Nothing you need to worry about. Just concentrate on the murder. But
so then,
before I go, let me give you one piece of advice. Maybe. We'll see. You should examine Chihiro's body one more time, thoroughly. Okay, now I can examine the body. Also, her handbook is missing. You might want to determine its whereabouts.
goodbye.
That's it. I'll be praying for your success. With that, Kyoko turned and left the girls' locker room. I guess I'll take another look at the body then. And Chihiro's handbook is missing? That's definitely worth worrying about. Alright. Chihiro's handbook has been added to the truth bullet section. Kyoko said I should examine the body one more time. I know she said thoroughly, but I do have my limits. Well, I better give it a shot anyway. Let's see. Chihiro's hands are bound with what looks like some kind of rope. The rope was used to prop her up in a kind of crucifix position. Huh? The rope has a plug? Wait, so then this isn't a rope at all. But the more I think about it, the more that's not the only thing that concerns me. Chihiro's fatal injury was the blow to the head, which means someone struck her in the head in order to kill her. That's right. There's the issue of her being suspended and the fatal blow. At first I didn't see any reason to think too much about either of them. But seeing them again after looking through the Genocide Jack files, something's not quite right. What does all this mean? Status of the dead body has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Well, the one thing most likely to tie all these mysteries together is the true nature of the rope that was used to suspend Chihiro. And so, to figure that out, there's a certain place I need to revisit and look over again. Plus, it might help to look at the Genocide Jack case file one more time. Alright, well. Very, very, very interesting. It looks like quite a number of things were changed to dress up the crime scene a little bit. And maybe not everything we see is what's actually there. But for YouTube, you're gonna find out tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Remember to leave me likes, comments, and subscribe. And you guys have a great day.